Okay, so for anyone that is unfamiliar with, this is an infamous Rachel Hollis moment. This is the live stream that caused Toiletgate. Confirmed. There is no debate about that. It is confirmed. Now, this was posted. It's still on her Instagram. You can still look it up. It's still fully there. I'm looking for the date that this was posted so I can... It's like the 2 days before or the day before actually Toiletgate happened. Okay, it was posted March 29th, 2021. Okay, so I'm going to write that down actually in my March 29th, 2021. And then Toiletgate happened at the beginning. I have it written down as March or April, end of March or April. So it's either like the 30th of March or like April 1st or 2nd. Okay, so it's very important. I wrote this on purpose. And I swear I'm not lying. You can go look it up yourself. It's there on her Instagram. If you go to her like video section, reels section, you scroll down to that date. It's there. I cut stuff out because there was a lot of stuff. It's like 40 minutes or 50 minutes. I cut it way down, but it's important to know the timestamps because in the podcast where she defends Toiletgate and explains her reasoning behind it and kind of tries to rewrite this whole narrative, she references certain things, and it's very clear how that's not true, in my opinion. How many minutes in between things happened, how many different topics were in between that, like, it's just inaccurate. And so I put the timestamps on there for a reason. So let's see, I think I can just full screen this. Here we go. So this is Rachel from March 29th, 2021. 10 minutes into the live stream.
Alicia said, I'm healthy. How about you? I'm great. I'm really, really great. I'm feeling so freaking hopeful. Vaccine is rolling out. Like, I'm feeling excited.
Vaccine. Tour. Vaccine. Conference. Vaccine is rolling out.
I'm feeling like vacation is going to be a thing.
Welcome, Mariette. Thank you.
At school this morning, and his teacher was like, man, there's only 35 school days left. And I was like, that's crazy. And to that end, can we just all give me some hearts right now for our teachers. You guys, you have figured out how to teach in a classroom, how to teach virtually. Shout out to the parents who are teaching, even though you never signed up for that. Like, y'all, woo, okay. Grounding yourself in gratitude.
Okay, so that's 10 minutes in. That's how she's feeling. She's feeling good. She's happy. She's never been better, whatever. Okay, now this is 12 and a half minutes in. Okay, very important.
Really meditating on what makes you feel great is going to calm you down. I'm dog sitting for Dave, so I just have to let Jeffrey in. One moment, everybody, one moment.
Okay, I included this part because I was like, this reminds me of like when people say, my husband, asked to babysit, or I'm gonna ask my husband to babysit the kids. It's like, aren't these kids your kids too? It's like, I'm gonna dog sit Jeffrey. It's like, isn't Jeffrey your family dog? Is it considered dog sitting when it's also your dog? I just thought that was an interesting line. I'm like, wait, Jeffrey is Dave's dog specifically? Okay.
So, struggling with depression.
Okay, this is the big one, baby. This is the big one. 13 and a half minutes in. This is what sparked it all, according to Rachel. And I'm going to say she's lying.
Changing meds, starting therapy, but still struggling with getting out of bed in the morning and getting the... Okay. You said, and struggling to get the cleaning done. What matters most is you taking care of you. Changing medication is so hard. It's throwing everything off inside of you, and it is a really important step in the work that you're trying to do, but I want you to hear me say it is work. I'm not going to cuss because I know I'm on live, but F the dishes. Screw the dishes. Screw the laundry. Who freaking cares? Who cares? The house is going to be dirty for a minute. What matters is that you are taking care of you. And if you don't feel like you have it in you today to do the dishes, light them on fire, get some paper plates. Like, who cares? I feel like we as women especially have this like checklist of.
And now I don't disagree with what she's saying here. The premise of what she's saying, and the question was, you know, I'm on new medication, I'm starting therapy, but I'm still upset that my house isn't clean. How do I get past that, I guess? I don't know why you would ask Rachel this, but okay. What she's saying is not bad. It's like, I think it aligns with my beliefs. Like, you know, you're depressed and there's shit to do, fuck the shit and whatever, don't do it. You know, that's also my take. It's important though, because she's going to use this as the reason why she was defending this person against toilet, and then Toiletgate happened. It doesn't make any sense. I'll let her explain it, but this is the important part about this.
All the things that we need to do in order to be good, in order to get the job, in order to do it right. And when you ask women to make a list of their priorities, if most women will not even put themselves on the list, like it doesn't even occur to them. They'll be like, my marriage, my kids, my this, my that, my job, da da da. And that's like, well, where are you? And they're like, oh, great. And then they add their name, but their name is literally the last thing on the list. Self-care is not something for Sunday afternoon. Self-care is not a bubble bath and a face mask when you're feeling down. Self-care is, can you take care of yourself every single day? And that might mean that the house is dirty. Oh, well. Oh, well.
Agreed.
Because you are not going to be able to serve anyone else. You're not.
I agree with her 100%. Tuli Unruly, thank you so much. Okay, Tuli Unruly picked a blue thumbs down with nope written on it. Nope? Well, that's something. Let's see.
I'm more of a hippie than you are. I put out so much crap. Unfollow me.
That's all for you, Tuli Unruly. Actually, hold on.
You have to think instead of sitting around eating Skittles and watching Oprah reruns.
That's for you, Tuli. Don't forget it. Okay. Let's continue.
To be able to have anything else you want if you're not feeling okay. And sometimes, especially when we're dealing with depression, anxiety, any of that emotional stuff, and you're trying to do therapy, and be graceful. Be graceful with yourself. Let the dishes sit. They're fine.
I'm with you. Amen. A woman.
What's been your biggest change in 2020, 2021 that you never planned to have to make, but now don't want to ever lose focus on? Thank you. I love this question. I never want to forget like what it felt like to slow down and come back to the person that I want to be.
I was like, that did not make sense. I never want to forget how it felt to slow down to become the person I want to be. It's like, that's not a real sentence that has any meaning to me personally.
I think like so many of us at the beginning of 2020, I was going, I was running, I was hustling. You convinced me to hire a house cleaner.
Okay. So that was, when did we start? We were at 13 minutes in. 13 and a half minutes in when she went on the monologue about, you know, give up, don't worry about it, it's all good, no problems. Okay. Now we're at 17 and a half minutes. We've skipped ahead quite a bit.
2020, I was going, I was running, I was hustling. You convinced me to hire a house cleaner. Yes, hire a house. The only reason to not have a house cleaner is because you can't afford it yet. And notice I said yet. But if you can afford a house cleaner and you don't have a house cleaner, what are you doing? Unless you like it. Do you like scrubbing your toilet? I don't like scrubbing my toilet. Look, I want to do the things that only I can do. This is the key to success. Because I know y'all follow me. I've got dreamers. I've got entrepreneurs. I know who's in my community. You want to know how you get ahead? You want to know how you can be the most productive and the most effective? Do the things that only you can do. Can someone, could I do the dishes? Yes. Can I scrub the toilet? Absolutely. Can someone else also, so that I could spend my time doing this live stream, writing a book, recording a podcast, which is the stuff that only I can do? Yes. So that's what we do. My girl comes twice a week, and she is the most delightful human ever. We love her, and she, makes sure that like mold doesn't grow on the dishes in the sink. Thank you.
I know, that's my thought too. I'm like, she's like, only I can do this. I'm a boss babe, whatever. So are you watching this? But my house cleaner, she's different. It's just actually, she doesn't gender her at all or give her much of a personhood other than she calls her Sherry, which I'm assuming that's a woman. But it's like my house cleaner, the house cleaner. In this case, it gets even worse when it's Toiletgate. It's like the lady or the woman who cleans my toilets, which is even less of a, dignified position. But it's interesting that, she doesn't really connect the dots. Like, you think that like, Sherry, doesn't, well, she knows Sherry has dreams outside of doing this work for Rachel. She wants to be like a massage therapist or a physical therapist or something like that along those lines. She said in the Kathy Heller interview before Toiletgate as well. So there's already an established and I'm not saying that she doesn't like this person, this house cleaner, but she's using her symbolically and doesn't think like this is also your audience could be a Sherry. It's confusing. But that's the whole point of this is more about the logistics of what she's claiming was said in the comments and like who she was clapping back about. So she tries to make an argument that she's clapping back at people who are, making fun of depression or are dogpiling on the woman who, didn't want to clean her house. There's no evidence of that, at least in this, documentation. She's answering the question many minutes later, and even more minutes later, she's going to now do her response. So it's only about her. She changes the narrative later, but okay.
You, Sherry, we appreciate you. Let's see. Had to start a group to support mindset and move energy for peace of mind. We've been so uncomfortable. It's real. But just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that you are in danger. I'm going to comment on this. I usually don't.
Okay, so the original, going back to the NASA analysis, the original person's question was at 13 minutes. Now she's going to be addressing the you're unrelatable comment at 21 minutes. Come on. That is not a response to the dog piling going on. It's so ridiculous. That was even brought up as like why I got so mad. I got so mad on behalf of women with depression. It's like, this is like more than 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes later, or she's already gone into 20 other topics.
I don't see these, but I'm going to do it. I assume that you're saying privilege AF about having a housekeeper. Hell yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And I'm super aware of that. I grew up with no money, and I cleaned my house forever. And it is a privilege to have someone who can come in and do that, but I also worked my ass off to get to the place where I could afford that in my life. And I chose that really early on. Like, I will sacrifice other things in my life to have help with that. It is a privilege, but when you add the words, when someone else has something that maybe you wish you had.
Okay, that part got cut off because her own live stream stopped and like whatever she said got erased in the ether. It's like a 10-second or 15-second like pause. So no one knows what she said there, but then it comes back. So I did cut that part out, but all it was her just like freeze framed and no one, she could have said something gold there.
It doesn't mean that you can't have it. Does that make sense? See, I think when people see someone who have a thing that they want, their reaction is like, screw you. Because if you have that thing, it's a reminder that I don't. And the way I tend to think is if someone has something, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can't wait for the day when someone will do that for me. Right? It's pausing. I don't know why. Right? You can choose. Look, you get to control the mindset that you have about anything in life. You get to control your mindset. So you can see something and see it as an example of what you do not have in your life. You can look at it and see scarcity, or you can be like, damn, I want to work to the place where I get to have that thing too. Or you could be like, that's never going to be something I aspire to spend money on. Do you, girl? But I'm so confused by this culture that we have created of like, oh, someone has something, let me crap all over it.
You're just jealous. Jill Christian, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. They say catching this live is giving me life. Well, for that, we know we have to say this.
It's giving me life.
It's giving me life. What do we think about Dave and Rachel?
They truly have it all.
Also, I'm sorry about the lag. I think it's from the hurricane. I don't know. I'm also hearing the hurricane outside, so we'll try to get this as quickly as possible so I don't go off air too soon. And just for that, we'll put our good juju out in the world. Let's see. Dave, what do you have to say?
You want to tell Tony to shove it up Tony's ass.
I do want to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. One last good song for the road.
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
Jill Christian, thank you very much. All right, back to Rachie.
Let me attack that thing, because that thing makes me feel lack. You are in control of your mindset. So, okay, not relatable to you. Cool. Great. Keep doing you. I'm going to send you so much love and so much light and so much good energy today because I feel like you need it. So, have a good one.
Okay, now here's another thing. She would say, she's like, I'm the most positive person you've ever met. I'm just so optimistic and bubbly, and everyone thinks that I'm like, way too rose-colored glasses, whatever. Okay, but she is fake positivity. That's not even necessarily toxic positivity. That's not real positivity. She's like, you know what? I think you need some love and light today because that sounds like you need it. That's passive-aggressive negativity. I think she's got those two confused. Like overreaching positivity can also just circle right back into passive-aggressive negative comments. That's what I took from that. All
right, back to this. Back to this idea. I don't remember what I was talking about. Honestly, this is such a good point. Thank you. Someone said so many Instagrammers hide the support that they have and the help that they have. I talked about this in Girl Stop Apologizing so much. I will always tell you guys what I have access to. I have a nanny. I have someone who comes and cleans my toilets twice a week. I absolutely have a team of people at work. Someone gave me this hair color. Clearly no one did my hair and makeup today. But if you see me looking super pretty on Instagram, like full hair and makeup, someone made me look like that. I absolutely have so much help. Because, number one, it takes a team to be able to live life at this level. To run a company, to write these books, to do this podcast, to do these things, there is no way I can do it by myself. And I'm so freaking over a society that tells women that they're supposed to have it all by themselves without complaining and look beautiful and not have stretch marks and have a perfect body and fit into this narrative. I call BS. No. It's garbage. If you see someone on social showing you this idealized life and saying that they do it all on their own, they are lying. And what happens is it makes other...
Now, I'm going to make an accusation that could be easily refuted, but I don't remember ever... Thank you, Holly. She said specifically, girls stop apologizing. She talked about having a nanny and having a house cleaner. That is true. And she also referenced the house cleaner in the same way as someone who scrubs her toilets, for the record. But I don't recall one time hearing about a nanny, hearing about a house cleaner ever in Girl Wash Your Face. And Girl Wash Your Face, to be fair, is the more well-read, the more widely read book of Rachel Hollis. So I think that's why some people criticized this book by saying, oh, you have a nanny. You didn't say that in the book. You sort of alluded that you were doing it all and somehow, keeping up with everything. And one of the lines that I sort of feel is like relevant to this, it's from not even a page, it's from the beginning parts of the introduction. She says, I vowed to be authentic and sincere, and for every glorious styled cupcake picture we produced, I shared a photo of myself with facial paralysis. If I went somewhere fancy like the Oscars, I balanced that with a post about my struggle with weight loss and pictures of me 40 pounds heavier. Okay. I've talked about it all. Struggles in my marriage, postpartum depression, and feeling jealous, scared, angry, ugly, unworthy, unloved. I have tried to be totally real about who I am and where I'm coming from. Seriously, the most famous thing I've ever done was to post a picture of the stretch marks on my saggy tummy on the internet, and yet I still get the notes. Women from all over the world still email me and ask me how I manage to keep it all together while they struggle. I can feel the pain in those emails. I can hear the shame in the words they use to describe their own hardships, and it makes my heart hurt. So I write them back. I tell every single one how beautiful and strong she is. I call them warrior, courageous, fighter. I tell them not to give up. It's what feels appropriate to say to a total stranger. It's like, I don't see anything about, like, I don't do it all myself. I don't keep it all together. I do have a house cleaner. I have a nanny. I have this and that. Like, that, I think, is the place that you would say that. And I don't see that. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I think she specifically said, girl, stop apologizing, for a reason. That she got called out about not being totally upfront and honest about her help. And then she updated it in the second book. Personally. Okay, back to this.
People feel like crap because they think, why does this influencer have this beautiful everything and I can't even get out of bed? Right? If you see my life and you're like, that looks cool, I wish I had that thing, please no. A team of people helped me accomplish this. Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning because I had no money. But you better believe that the second that I started to work, literally, back when I was making $34,000 a year, one of the first things I splurged on was not going out with my friends, was not dinner, was not alcohol. It was a housekeeper who came on Saturdays and cleaned my house. That is a value for me. Feel great about spending money on it. So I'm going to keep showing up. And if that makes someone feel like it's not relatable, great. Keep doing you. Sending love and light. And the things we go off on live streams, guys.
You hear the wind? It does not sound good. I just think this part too is like, she's defending only herself, which is fine. Defend yourself, but don't lie about it later and say you're defending your viewers. It's like, you weren't.
All of it. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I feel like it was a good point, but I don't even remember now. Does anyone have one more question? What else can I answer while I'm here? Anything else before I go? I've answered the controversial question of where's the dog.
Yeah, I cut that part out because it's like people were asking, where's your dog? And she sent the dog back to his family, whatever that means. Very Micah Stauffer of her, because she adopted a dog that apparently bit or got rough with her children. So people kept asking, and she addressed it in this, but we've already sort of gotten past that. So here's some stuff about Dave.
Into an argument with someone about the ability to have a housekeeper. Who is my coach? Who's my coach?
Me.
I don't really have a coach. Just like the books that I'm reading or friends that I have in the industry, like it's more that I take it based on what I'm kind of going through at the time, and then I'll seek out an answer.
Only sweet house cleaners who clean my toilets need coaches. Ugh, dummy.
For this specific problem that I'm having. What is the best suggestion for creating a morning routine that you can stick to? One thing at a time. Add one thing at a time. Think of one thing that would really help your morning to thrive, that would make you feel more successful, that would set you up for the day ahead, and just incorporate that one thing. So let's say that you always feel stressed kind of getting out of the house, right? So maybe your thing is like, man, if I could just feel less stressed getting the kids into the car, if I could just feel less stressed when I'm getting ready for work, then that's the one thing to change. How can you set yourself up for in advance so that you can feel great? So like, could you lay your clothes out the night before? Could you lay your clothes out? Let's see. Is there ever a time you should give up? Is there ever a time you should give up?
I don't know why I left that part. It was like sort of boring. Okay.
Oh, I love that. Let's see. Is there ever a time you should give up?
When it's with talking about Dave Hollis.
Is there ever a time you should give up? I'm trying to think of when I've given up. Certainly. Yeah. I think there's a time when you have tried and come at it from every angle. And I think like just super honest with you, if you guys were with me when I got divorced, I mean, that was years and years and years of trying to make something work and doing all the things that I could think of, and it just wasn't ever gonna be fixed. It was never gonna be fixed, and neither one of us were ever gonna be able to be the people that we could be and should be if we kept trying to make this unhealthy thing work. And so I don't know that I would call it giving up so much as choosing the option that is actually like what your spirit needs. In any situation, the dream that you have, the job you want to do, the whatever it is, it shouldn't be about giving up, because giving up implies that you let go and then that's the end of that for you, as opposed to choosing a path that is more fit for who you became. And I think probably how that shows up most, and I would go back to like the divorce again, but I also think this is true for like dreams and goals and whatever, how that shows up most is when you've evolved. When you've become someone new,
When you've become sentient, then you don't need Dave Hollis anymore. The last marriage conference was in 2018, from my understanding. So this is 2021. So, but they said that they had issues, you know, for 5 years, specifically 5 years, which is when they started their adoption stuff, or they adopted Noah.
you've you have grown and you have changed, and so those desires that your heart had 5 years ago or even 1 year ago, like it's changed, and that's where you have to sort of choose the thing.
Now someone's gonna comment what we're all thinking here, but she ain't gonna like it.
Why did you present yourself as a happy couple? What a sweet question to ask, because we were a happy couple. Because we were best friends and we had so much fun together. But as much as I love you guys and as public as my life is, you don't get to know the behind the scenes stuff. You don't get to know the ugly stuff. You don't get to know the pieces that don't fit. And it's rude, it's wildly rude and disrespectful to attack someone because you didn't get to see.
Asking a question was not an attack, first of all. Second of all, it's a fair question. Third of all, your whole fucking brand is I tell all. I tell you everything so that you can know my stretch marks and everything, all the blemishes. I am not leaving anything on the table. I am Miss Authenticity. That is me. I'm your good friend. Like, yeah, that's what you're telling us. That's the whole brand, baby. And she's acting like, how fucking dare you? It's like, wait, what? I'm confused. This is your whole thing. Don't put this on me like I'm some sort of weirdo that you sold marriage conferences and had Dave speak at all your events, and you did a morning show with your husband, and now you don't like your husband anymore. Now you're going to fucking be mad at me for it? What? Crazy.
Those parts. It's like such an
Yeah, we needed There's Colleen.
You get more handsome by
Oops.
the day.
There's Colleen.
fair thing. Like, I'll clap back at you. Do you go show the world the parts of your relationship that are broken? No. And if you're best friends with someone,
Don't speak for the commenter. Maybe they do. Maybe they're more honest than you, Rachel. And also, you said we shared everything, all of our ups and downs and our fights and this and that. So we thought that was it because you told us that was it. Again, don't act like, oh, you obviously, like that commenter probably is not a self-help guru who says, you know, in every single bio and every single intro I've ever heard of her, or someone introducing her, it's like she gained millions from her authenticity. It's like, no. That's not authentic. Now you're just saying you're like everyone else. So why are you getting millions of dollars? Why don't we get millions of dollars for hiding our negative selves?
and this is the case with us, if you're best friends with someone, that friendship will always fix the pieces that don't work right. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, because you could have all this stuff that was like hard and you're working through, but then you could go laugh together, you could watch a movie, you have these beautiful kids, like you're so freaking blessed that that's the part that you come back to. And frankly, we could have kept doing that for the rest of our lives. We could have kept doing that for the rest of our lives because the friendship was that strong. So that's what you saw.
Okay, then why did you say he has a double life later on then? Why do you say that he was like, he did all these things to you? Like, again, like, sorry, I keep saying like. Clear. I need to clear the likes out of my vocabulary. Hold on.
Clear.
I get it when I get excited. It's another narrative change. Again, oh, we are best friends. That's why it worked for as long as it did, but we needed to follow our spirit guide. Okay, fine, whatever. But then later on, she's, oh no, the marriage was over. I ended it because there was no choice to be had. And it's like, okay, well, that's not what you're saying here.
And not just with me, like with anybody. If you see celebrity couples, if you see influencers, if you see authors, if you see people that you're like, but you were so happy. Well, come on, you're smarter than that. You are so much smarter than that. Like you.
This is all fake. This is all fake, dumbasses. Well, yeah, but you're living in this reality that you're telling people it's not fake. Like everyone that's critical knows it's fake. But that's why we're criticizing you because, yeah, we know, but you're selling on the premise that you've actually figured out a way to make it not fake. You're smarter than that. Of course this is all bullshit. And it's like, we should have just listened to, I did, listen to her for her word. Like, stop believing in her. Stop believing in all of these people anyone on the internet who makes it seem like everything's amazing. It's probably not. Choose sadness and be real. Thank you.
Showing your friends the real stuff. You showing up at the company holiday party and being like, well, we haven't talked to each other in a whole day. Well, like, no, come on. Why is it that you're allowed to be human, but I'm not?
Because you're making millions of dollars on the premise that you're being authentic with what you're saying and telling people and the books that you write. That's why people are inspired by you, because they thought that you were different and that you could help them be different. That's why, bitch. Come on.
Right?
Love and light.
Come on, y'all. So crazy. I'm on my period right now, so let's fight.
Oh, again. Okay, this is sort of, I left this in because it's like her hormones. It's not normal to be mad on your period. But this is before she went on her journey, I guess. This is before she knew it wasn't normal to have emotions.
Normally I just ignore these comments, but today I'm like, let's go. Come on.
Come on.
What would you... Someone said, are you friends with Heidi? I haven't met Heidi yet. She seems lovely. My kids love her. I'm sure she's wonderful. I am positive we're going to meet at some point, because how could we not? But I'm sure she's great. But also that's got to be awkward as hell. Have you met the person that your old person is now? That's just not any weird feeling. Like, I probably like her more than I like him. But like, that's gotta be, you know me. There's no way I don't make that awkward. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, what? No, just me? Someone tell me, how does that go? Someone tell you how that goes. So awkward. Okay, you guys are saying it is awkward. Yeah, we'll try. I'm sure she'd be down to do a live stream. It's fine. That won't be weird at all. It's awkward, believe me. I love that you just said it will be awkward. Ames, you know it will be. For her too, I hope. Like, come on.
I hope.
Weird. Like, yeah, okay. Everyone's saying it. I'm glad. And then you get over it. Like, that's we're all good.
And she's now going to be like, I love Dave, that he's so happy now. I love it. She doesn't seem as happy later on for him.
Everyone's great. But honestly, like, freaking so happy for him. Live your life, live your dreams, do the thing, get it, live. And that is like the hope, right? When you go
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
through something as hard as what we had to go through, like, if you're gonna have to go through that hell, let it be, because you get to come out of the other side of it and get to live this like beautiful, brilliant new life, right?
With Heidi, brilliant new life. Oh God.
Let it be that. Go freaking A, do it.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that was the preemptive toilet gate. What started it all. Then Toiletgate happened, which if you have not watched it lately, maybe we should just watch it. I love watching Toiletgate. I love it so much. It's so fun to me to be reminded. I think the best thing about Toiletgate was the caption and how she said, "Happy fucking Women's History Month." After saying, like, you think I want to be relatable? Malala Yousafzai, Harriet Tubman, I don't know, Oprah Winfrey. I don't want to be happy fucking women's history month. It's like so funny. It's an epic moment in history. Okay, then so a couple days later, I believe she's going to reference the time frame. And thank you for this Simply Imperfect podcast for capturing this for all of our sanity. Then she makes this TikTok.
Okay, yesterday I was doing a live stream and I mentioned that there's this sweet woman who comes to my house twice a week and cleans. She's my house cleaner. She cleans the toilets. Someone commented and said, you are privileged AF. And I was like, you're right. I'm super freaking privileged, but also I work my ass off to have the money to have someone come twice a week and clean my toilets. And I told her that. And then she said, well, you're unrelatable. What is it about me that made you think I want to be relatable? No, sis, literally everything I do in my life is to live a life that most people can't relate to. Most people won't work this hard. Most people won't get up at 4 a.m. Most people won't fail publicly again and again just to reach the top of the mountain. Literally every woman I admire in history was unrelatable. If my life is relatable to most people, I'm doing it wrong.
That's the smug face that I think that I was referencing, where it's like, this is going to be viral. I'm going to be on Good Morning America. I am clapping back at people who are taking down influencers and are putting negative comments on Instagram. And this is going to be my movement. Now, whether that's true or not, I can't say, but I have my suspicions and I will continue to work on them.